Welcome guys to a brand new series called Introducing. Here I'll be talking about new and upcoming bands, whether they've released a new album, an EP, a single, or just some content that I really enjoyed that I want to introduce to you. Today I'm going to be reviewing an album called Holographic Sight by a band called Universe in My Yard. The band is from Bologna, Italy, and I'm going to do my very best not to butcher their names with my accent. And they consist of vocalist Niccolò Alfei, guitarist Mattia Toschi and Raffaele Samson, and bassist Tommaso Profuma. I hope that I've got this as close as I possibly can. The band has worked together to get this album done from November 2019 through to May 2020. It was released July 23rd of this year and is self-produced by the band. In my opinion, this album is absolutely killer. I cannot wait to share it with you, and I really hope that you go and check out the band afterwards. Onto the album. Taking advantage of their name, this album opener is so easy to get lost in. Everything from the effects and chord progressions is celestial, spacey, distant, and genuinely gorgeous. It grows and builds into this perfect crescendo that leads straight into the next track. Such a brutal song to follow up the album intro with. This song slightly reminds me of old school Veil of Maya with these dissonant chords over these weird timey chugs and these incredible harmonies. It literally took me back to 2008 in the best way possible. This song sums up the album perfectly with these guitar motifs that go back and forth with its quick pace, intricate songwriting. It's not afraid to hit both ends of the spectrum, whether it be the heavier or the more melodic moments. The most brutal and vicious song on this album, you can't not bang your head to it. It just does not let up, and it really makes me miss going to gigs and feeling the energy of a concert. Niccolò's vocals on this track are incredible. He goes in, there's so much energy that he puts into this song. He literally goes in hard. The lyrics represent the song, it's just so anarchic. This track is absolutely huge and captures perfectly the sound that the band have described for themselves. A mix of death metal, progressive and gent. This, Storm of Souls and Imagine Your Life as a Palindrome are by far my favourite tracks on the album. I fell in love with the synth intro to this song so quickly, and I love that it's this theme throughout the song, and everything just builds on it. This track is one of the more melodic on the album, but I think that's because I feel as though the song flows consistently. Creatively, it keeps this idea fresh, and the band all feels like they're all on the same page with it. And they add so many different variations, and it's just super tasteful. The synth intro, tap-in, offbeat rhythms. It's also played in unity by the band, and I just feel like it is so tight. The first time being a lot heavier, and it's followed up a second time with like spoken word over the top, and it's just super powerful. Hits the spot perfectly. This intro is just such a crowd pleaser, proper gets the blood pumping. It creates this unique blend of thrash, death metal and groove riffs. There's this huge breathy riff around 2:24 that just slows the track right down, and it absolutely slaps. It then leads into this crazy augmented open string riff that just is so black metal. The drums massively impressed me on this track. They sound absolutely huge. They suit the song so well and just keep the drive going forward. I was thoroughly impressed with like the sound of the mix and the drum sound in general, considering they were programmed. Amazingly produced. This is the longest track in the album, and it does not get tiring at all. It's a lot to take in, but there's always something you can learn from every single listen. I'm still finding stuff now on the third, fourth listen that just resonates with me even more. You tend to find that long songs drone on, and that doesn't happen here. There's so many incredible parts that stand out, from the Avenged Sevenfold style harmonies to the old school thrash breakdowns. The solos on this song are extremely tasteful and showcase the incredible talent of Mattia and Raffaele perfectly as songwriters and musicians. This song is a complete groove fest with loads of different songwriting techniques that come into play, from mode changes, chord progressions, selective picking. There's this prolonged instrumental section that comes after this solo bass section, and it's definitely one of the highs of the album. I feel like bassist Tommaso gets even more opportunity to shine on this track too. Showcases his bass playing, adding these little flourishes in that really distinguish all of these chord progressions. beautifully, and they really flesh out the song even further. Such an amazing, epic end to the album. It's just a gratifying close. They touch on so many different styles and genres within this song, and it works. I love offbeat rhythms and songs that make you think about the way that they're being played. And just like the previous track, there's this instrumental section just after the cleans, about the 2-minute mark, and it just grooves so much with a beautiful tapping section that kind of moves into this periphery interval style melodic drop. They just touch on so much here, and it works. I could have easily stuck through this song if it was longer, and I just think that middle section is incredible. A great end to the album. Considering this is their first album, it's brilliantly produced. From the mix and mastering, which is one of the best I've heard from an up-and-coming band this year. You don't strain to hear anything within the album, it's just all clear as day. The source guitar tones are tasteful. The bass comes through, you can hear it, and it has the right amount of dirt to it. The vocals pop well, and they aren't overwhelming in any way at all. Even though the drums are programmed, you can't really tell. They sound amazing. And there's so much going on too, from these intricate guitar and bass riffs, pounding drums, to the synths, electrical percussion, and intense vocals. Each song is different within its own right, but still manages to stay within the sound of the band, and you really ever find that so early on in a career. Highly recommend that you go and check out their YouTube. They've got some really amazing playthroughs as a band as a whole, from the guitars to the bass. Go and check them out. All links to the band are below, so go and show them some love. I'm really hoping that these guys go touring at some point when they come to the UK, because with tracks like Storm of Souls, Learn to Love the Leash, and Kempeitai, how could I not want to go and see them live? Holographic Sight has a very clear vision, and it's an incredible breakthrough for this band. I cannot wait to see more from Universe in My Yard in the future, and I hope they set their sights on expanding even more. What up-and-coming bands do you want me to show the world next? And by the world, I mean all 10 of you. If you have any friends that are going to be releasing an EP soon, get them to reach out. Let's do something fun. If you like this content, remember to follow my socials for updates and behind the scenes. Subscribe for even more episodes to come. I'm Joe, and this has been JVC Music.